that cut by doing a pass or a shift. I still have the 2 black aces. And then I would want to do a bottom deal and execute what I'm planting in second base here. The 2. Leaving the card in the card box. It's just a statistical advantage that you would have if you had access to the deck of cards before you play. You would know that that card would be out of play, and everybody would think that that card would be in play. That turns out to be a statistical advantage. Locating the card by glimpsing the card, and then you can obtain that card to the bottom by stacking. So then you would want to do a full shuffle and retain that order. And then you would essentially do a cut. You would want to counter the cut, and then you would want to execute a trick deal. This would be a bottom deal. Of you rotating your hand face down, holding the deck of cards and dealing grip, you then would thumb with your top card and press against your first finger and create a bubble that you can actually peek in through that angle. This is done, of course, in the timing of you checking out your whole card. So if you haven't had previous access to the deck of cards and you receive these 2 cards that are coming into play, you would then want to do a crimp, so when you had the access to shuffling, you'd be able to cut to that card. Okay, so in regards to crimping the cards, ideal circumstances would be that you would have access to the deck of cards before you'd play the poker game, which means that you can gimmick the deck, and when you have the access to shuffling the cards, you can cut to the cards by crimping the cards. That's what this method of locating the cards would be, which of course is the first principle. The first thing that you do, I guess, I do a breather's crimp, highly effective crimp, and I'm essentially taking my first fingers and thumbs from the center of the deck and I'm applying pressure to the outside edges, making an X. So if I do it with it being face up, the card would be convex. There would be a convex card breather's crimp, which means that if it was in the deck, I'd be able to cut to that card, and since it was convex, or concave, forgive me, it would come to the top. Now, if I take that ace and turn it face down and apply the pressure into the outside edges, I would essentially be able to cut that card to the bottom of the deck. The thing that I appreciate the most from the top palm would be stealing the card after glimpsing it from the top of the deal and having a spectator then cut the deck and plant this on what the previous center was and what they believe the state of the top deck cards would be, and have that planted on the top of the deck. So then you can execute a second deal, and then plant it to yourself if you wish. So how the method of the mechanics of this works is as your right hand would come in and connect with the deck, which is in your left hand in mechanics grip, your pinky is going to be connecting to the outer corner as your hand would be closing from face up to face down. And in this action, your thumb is going to be pushing over that top card, and you're making enough room for you to apply pressure on that outside corner to go and stick this in your hand, and you can thin this out and actually pull it back with this middle finger. And then you would have it palm. You can plant this off your body if you want to exchange it in and out of play later. It's just a card control technique. blackjack turnover move. In the action of presenting your hold card would be in the action of when you would want to execute this turnover move. So this works by holding the break with your fourth finger on the top card. After you've glimpsed it, a bubble peek is good. Even seeing it, hey, look, I got a 4 here, I have a 10 here, and when I want to take the 10 for the blackjack. So after I look at it, I would announce blackjack, and in the action of turning it over, I have a fourth finger break on the top card. I'm grabbing that bottom card by this lower corner with my first finger and thumb, while I'm releasing from that second to the top card in the action of me turning over. But this is when you check out your whole card and you don't have something good, if I have a 4, I can glimpse in that one action a bubble peek and see that ace coming from the top. And then in the action of turning and saying, hey, I have blackjack, I just execute the sleight, and that's how it goes down.
Xin được chào đón tất cả các bạn. Nếu như các bạn muốn học ảo thuật hoàn toàn miễn phí thì ngay bây giờ các bạn hãy nhanh tay lên nào. Hãy truy cập vào website cửa hàng ảo thuật.com. Có hàng trăm video clip hướng dẫn ảo thuật hoàn toàn miễn phí đang chờ đón tất cả các bạn ngay trong website cửa hàng ảo thuật.com. Hoặc các bạn có thể liên hệ trực tiếp cho LeePin qua số điện thoại 01 666 667346 để được LeePin tư vấn về ảo thuật hoàn toàn miễn phí. LeePin xin chào tạm biệt, hẹn gặp lại các bạn trong thời gian sớm nhất. Xin chúc các bạn thành công.